Hey, it's me, MLB. Here's chapter 4 of Shattered Image, and this one is titled Saved by a Jumper. You had managed to get through the rest of the day without speaking to anyone, and then it came for home time. Yes, finally I could get out of here, you thought as you got up, grabbed your books and headed straight for your locker. Without any hesitation, you got your things together and slung your bag over your shoulder, then slammed your locker shut with a bang and headed out the building doors. You had one thing on your mind, and that was heading home. You weren't keeping an eye out for anyone or anything, you just wanted to get out of there. Had it not been for someone stepping across your path, that you wouldn't have stopped and looked up, but thankfully you did, and that was when you spotted a bushy black tail flick out from behind the wall at the front of the school, and you paused for a second, standing still in the middle of the path as others walked around you and headed out the gate. Wait, is that Fix on the other side? You thought, your heart starting to race as you took a step back. They can't see me coming out of here. Then they'll know I go to UA. In a sudden panic, you spun around and ran back towards the building, then up the stairs and inside the doors, running back over to your locker and just standing there. Did they see me? You thought, as your heart kept thumping away in your chest. Should I text them to ask where they are? They would lie though, I know it. You thought, as you stood there in front of your locker, staring at the metal doors. You looked to your right out the door towards the school gate, hoping to catch another glimpse of them, but you didn't see any more movement. I don't know if there's another way out of here. I'll just wait until they go. They'll get sick of waiting for sure, you thought. You just remained standing at your locker, and slowly but surely the locker room cleared, most people having left to go home. You checked your watch. Almost everyone has gone now. They wouldn't come into the school grounds, would they? You wondered, still standing there. Hey, a sudden voice said from your left, and you looked across. It was that same guy who had found you earlier behind the vending machine, the one who knew Hanny's name, the one who liked the same band as you, your classmate. What? You snapped. You good? He asked. Yeah, fine, you replied, still refusing to move from your spot. You want to walk home with me? Walk together until you go to your home and I go to mine? He said, quickly trying to cover up his mistake. No, you said bluntly. So, you gonna walk home by yourself? He asked. Why are you asking so many questions? Just go, you snapped, annoyed that he kept asking what you felt were useless questions. Okay, he said with a shrug as he stepped around you. You watched him go from the corner of your eye, your heart sinking as he got to the building door. No one's gonna help me, you thought with despair. How do I get out of here? Suddenly he stopped and looked back over his shoulder, his eyes locking with yours. You can't leave because they're out there, aren't they? He said. You stared at him. How did he know? Who was this guy? I don't know what you're talking about, you lied, trying to play it off. Hanny, Vix, and Talon are there at the gate. They're waiting for you, he said as he turned around to face you. Are they friends of yours? Why are you avoiding them? You don't want them to know you go here? Enough! You shouted. Stop it! I know them, okay? They're friends of mine, but I... You sighed and hung your head, showing signs of emotion that he hadn't seen on your face before. You were usually pretty deadpan. Come with me, he said suddenly, walking back over to you and walking past you. Where are we going? You asked as you followed behind him immediately. Don't ask questions, he said, and you shut up. He led you down to the other end of the hall and outside, to a laneway that led to a wire fence gate that he opened for you and you walked through, and then he closed the gate behind you both and started walking again, along a small path that led to a forest. You and he headed into the forest and followed it along until it finally came out onto a road, and you recognised the place as the adjacent end of town. The town was built on an X shape, and it was on one of these arms of the X that this forest connected with. Oh, okay, so there was a back way out of school, you thought as you stopped behind him. This guy stopped in front of you and then took his bag off his shoulders and rummaged through it before pulling out a jumper and handing it to you. What? You asked. Put this on. It'll hide your uniform, he said. We still need to walk through the town, and if they're there, they'll see you in your uniform. Oh, right, you thought as you took it from him. This guy's pretty smart, you thought as you put his jumper on. It was quite big, and you kinda loved how it engulfed your form, covering your entire uniform effortlessly. Once you had it on, he zipped his bag up and slung it back over his shoulder. I'm going to walk a different way home. They know what I look like, so if they see us together, they'll know you go to UA. See you tomorrow, he said before turning and walking off. Hey! You called out to him, and he stopped and looked back over his shoulder at you. Thanks, you said stiffly. No problem, he said with a grin, and then kept walking. Hey! You called out again, and he stopped and looked back again. What's your name? Sero, he replied, and then headed off again, and you nodded. He's okay, I guess, you thought, as you adjusted your bag over your shoulder and headed into town. You figured your friends weren't there. They would still be waiting at the gates of UA, but you were careful all the same and made it home just before your parents did. With a sigh of relief, you took your bag off and unzipped Sero's jumper and lay it on your bag. You didn't want to get it dirty, or for it to have your scent on it, so you'd taken it off quickly as you could. Funny thing was, first thing next morning, after putting your uniform on, you went to your bag and picked up his jumper and then put it on, then headed to the kitchen for breakfast. Hi, beautiful, your mum greeted you as she made you a coffee. Hey, Mum, you greeted her. Did you sleep well? She asked you with a yawn. Yep, you replied as you plopped down at the table there. That's a nice jumper, your mum said when she looked over at you again. Did you buy that? Nah. It was given to me because I got cold yesterday. You half lied. By a classmate? Your mum asked hopefully. Yeah, you replied, reaching out as your mum brought over the coffee to you. Is Dad still here? Yes, he'll be done in a second, your mum said with a smile as she went to make another coffee for your dad. You had just about finished your coffee when your dad came walking down the stairs and entered the room. Morning, Yin, he greeted you with a kiss to the top of your head. You sleep well? Yeah, you replied. Do you like Yin's jumper? Your mum asked your dad. A classmate let her borrow it. Yeah, it's nice, your dad said as he took the coffee from your mum. Thank you, hun, he added as he took it. That's a nice classmate, he commented. You hummed. Your mum smiled. I hope you thank them today, your mum said. Yeah, I will. I did yesterday when they gave it to me, you replied. Good, your mum said as she made a coffee for herself. With coffee now drunk, you left the house and headed into town. Being careful of your surroundings, and with no one watching you, you slipped to the side of town and ducked down the path that led to the school grounds and entered the school through the back way. This was pretty good, you thought, as you walked across the oval and headed for the building to get to your locker. You had gotten in early again, and so put your things away and got your books and then headed for the homeroom class and then took Sarah's jumper off before sitting down and plopping the jumper on your desk. Yeah, okay, there's been a few interactions. You'll have to stay tuned for the next chapter. I'll see you then.